Good morning, students. Welcome back to our zoology class. I hope you all are fine. Today we are going to start a new lesson, that is 17th lesson in science. Under that part of that lesson you might have learned in botany, and now we are going to continue with the zoology part. Okay. In that we are going to learn about the reproductive system of human. In your 9th standard, you might have learned about the reproductive system of human, isn't it? Just we are going to continue that. Okay. Now, in this reproduction, you are going to learn about the sexual reproduction. There are two types of reproduction that you may know. One is asexual reproduction and the other one is sexual reproduction. Now, let's learn about the sexual reproduction. Okay. And what is the difference between the asexual and sexual reproduction is, in asexual reproduction, gametes are not involved. But in sexual reproduction, gametes are involved. What are gametes? Gametes are the sex cells. In case of male, it is sperm, and in case of female, it is ovum. They are the sex cells. If you are taking a human body, there are two types of cells. One is somatic cell, is also known as autosomes, and the other one is gametic cell or allosomes. The somatic cells are always diploid, whereas the gametic cells are haploid cells. Okay, when this gametes will become diploid, the gametes will become diploid at the time of fertilization. So what is fertilization? The fusion of male and female gamete is known as fertilization. Okay, what is fertilization? The fusion of male and female gametes. The male gamete sperm is also haploid and the female gamete ovum is also haploid. When these two cells, haploid and haploid, joins, it becomes diploid and it forms a zygote. Now the zygote is diploid, isn't it? And this zygote develops into an embryo. Now let's see the organs involved in sexual reproduction. There are organs of the reproductive system are divided into primary and secondary sex organs. Primary sex organ is testis in case of male and ovary in case of female. And why the secondary sex organs are there means, the secondary sex organs are there to assist the function of the primary sex organ. Let us see what are they. The primary reproductive organs include gonads, that is testis in male, and ovaries in female. Accessory or secondary sex organs, in case of male, they are vas deferens, epididymis, seminal vesicle, prostate gland, and penis. In case of female, fallopian tubes, uterus, cervix, and vagina. Now we look at the diagram. See here, this is the male reproductive organ, isn't it? So when you are taking the male reproductive organ, it contains a pair of testes. See here, there are pair of testes, 1 plus 1. Okay, testes, this is the primary reproductive organ. And this from the testes, what is arising means epididymis, isn't it? This epididymis again enters into the duct, that is vas deferens. Vas deferens opens in the seminal vesicle. Seminal vesicle opens into the prostate gland, followed by bulbourethral gland, then the erectile tissue, that is of penis, then penis. These are all the accessory or secondary reproductive organs. Primary organ is testis. Okay. When you come into the female reproductive system, it contains ovary. This is the primary reproductive organ, and the organ that is assisting to do the function of ovary is uterus, fallopian tube, then fimbria. What is fimbria? It is not given in a book. Fimbria is the finger-like portion that is receiving the ovum from the ovary. This is ovary. Here from the ovary, what will be released? Ovum will be released. This ovum will be received by this fimbria. Okay. Then cervix and vagina are the secondary sex organs in female. Okay. Now let's see the structure of male reproductive system. Before that, let's see the function of the secondary sex organs. Okay, what are the function of the secondary sex organs? Means they help in ovulation. Ovulation means release of ovum from the ovary. They helps in fertilization, the fusion of male and female gametes. Then the division of the fertilized egg up to the formation of embryo. Okay, once after fertilization, what happens? Zygote is formed. Okay, once the zygote is formed, the next step is the division. The cell should divide and it will be developing into an embryo. Then the next stage is the pregnancy stage, then followed by the development of fetus. Once the fetus is fully developed, the baby come outside. That process is known as childbirth. For all this function, what is the reproductive? All these functions will be carried by the reproductive organs. The main reproductive organs, testis in male and ovary in case of female. And these two organs will be doing its function, and who will assist its function is secondary sex organs. Secondary sex organs we learned. Okay, now let's learn the structure of male reproductive organ. What is the structure of male reproductive organ? Means I told you the primary reproductive organ is testis, isn't it? Where this testis is present? Means this testis is present outside the abdominal cavity of a man, isn't it? Okay, it's not in case of female. The ovary is present inside the abdominal cavity, isn't it? But in male, it is present outside the abdominal cavity and is hanging in a sac-like structure. That sac is known as scrotal sac. The sac is known as scrotum. This is testis. It is present or is kept in the sac-like structure. That sac is known as scrotum. This is the oval-shaped body. It's the ovoid body. Okay. And why this testis is present outside the abdominal cavity? There's a reason for that. Okay. For the formation of viable sperms, the temperature should be at least 2 to 3 degrees centigrade less than the normal body temperature. Okay. If this testis is present inside the abdominal cavity, the normal sperms cannot be formed because of the body temperature. The normal body temperature is 98.6 Fahrenheit or 37 degrees Celsius. Okay. But when it is kept outside the abdominal cavity, the temperature will be less than the body temperature. So this helps in the formation of sperms. Okay. So for the formation of viable sperms, what is necessary? Low temperature. Low temperature means the temperature should be at least 2 to 3 degrees centigrade less than the normal body temperature. Okay. Now look into the structure, cross-section of human testis. See here, it is the oval-shaped body, isn't it? And this is covered by a membrane. That membrane is known as tunica albuginea. What's the membrane known as? Tunica albuginea. Okay, this tunica albuginea, it is inside. See, you can see here the white color part, isn't it? It divides the testis into many septum. Septum is division. And this is and forms lobules. The septum forms what? Lobules. Inside this lobules, what are there? 3 types of cells are there. That is seminiferous tubules, Leydig cells and Sertoli cells. There are 3 structures inside this lobules. One is seminiferous tubules. The other one is Sertoli cells and the third one is Leydig cells. Let's see the function of these 3. Okay, what is the function of the seminiferous tubules? See here, seminiferous tubules. Okay, what's the function of the seminiferous tubules? Means it is the place where spermatogenesis takes place. So where the spermatogenesis takes place? The spermatogenesis takes place in seminiferous tubules. What is spermatogenesis? It's the formation of spermatozoa. Spermatozoa is sperm. Okay. The next cell we are seeing is Sertoli cells. What's the function of Sertoli cells? Means it is the nourishing cell. What is Sertoli cells? They are the nourishing cell as well as they are the supporting cells. Okay. Next, the Leydig cells. About Leydig cells, we studied in the hormones. Okay. This Leydig cells is the cells that is playing an important role in endocrine. Okay, endocrine means secreting hormones. So this Leydig cells is also known as interstitial cell, and this Leydig cells is responsible for secreting the hormone that is known as testosterone. The male hormone testosterone is secreted by the Leydig cells. Okay, and what is the function of testosterone? Means it initiates the process of spermatogenesis. Okay, now let's see once again. Testes are the reproductive glands of the male that are oval-shaped organs, and they lie outside the abdominal cavity. And that cavity means it is present as sac-like structure that is known as scrotum. This testis is covered by a membrane known as tunica albuginea. This tunica albuginea forms septum. Septum is division, and that means divides the testes into many lobules. In the lobules, what is there? Seminiferous tubules, Sertoli cells, and Leydig cells. Seminiferous tubules is the place where spermatogenesis takes place. Sertoli cells, they are the nourishing cells, as well as nourishing means providing nutrients, and also they are called the supporting cells. And in addition to that, Leydig cells are present. It is also known as interstitial cell. These Leydig cells are polyhedral in shape, and it lies between the seminiferous tubules and secrete testosterone. What's the function of this hormone testosterone? It initiates the process of spermatogenesis.